Hello friends, welcome to youtube.com oblique Dr. Vet channel. In this channel, we are delivering veterinary science and animal husbandry lectures. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor and Head. In this presentation, we will learn clinical importance of pituitary gland hormones. This is a important part of endocrine diseases. The clinical importance of pituitary gland is very important because pituitary gland is a master gland which can control many organs and many tissue and many systems of the body and many endocrine glands also. So pituitary gland has a very important clinical implications. Here we deal with introductory part of the clinical importance of pituitary gland hormone. The introduction and basic discussion is necessary, physiology, biochemistry, especially for endocrine diseases. If you understand the basic things, then and then it is easy to understand the complicated endocrine diseases. Endocrine diseases are not complicated to understand, but lack of understanding the basic thing makes it more complicated. Pituitary gland, also called as hypophysis, it's a very tiny, a small pea-sized gland, very small size, but has a very important function, control of the body. It is located at the base of the brain and it produces many hormones, nearly about 10 hormones. These hormones influence many other organs of the body. Almost all organs of the body. Pituitary is called as master gland because pituitary gland control the functions of most of other endocrine glands of the body, and that can control the other organs or system of the body. Thus, it is justified that pituitary is a master gland. The pituitary contains two lobes. Anterior lobe called adenohypophysis and the posterior lobe it is called as neurohypophysis. Friend, here I have presented a figure of pituitary gland to make you to understand the various parts. It is beneath the hypothalamus. This is the pituitary gland. It has two lobes. This lobe is anterior lobe called adenohypophysis and this lobe is a posterior lobe, it is called as neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis has three parts: pars tuberalis, pars intermedia and pars distalis. These three parts makes the anterior lobe adenohypophysis, and this gland is hanging with a stalk that is called as infundibulum. This is just a explanatory figure of the pituitary gland. We already know that pituitary gland anterior lobe is called as adenohypophysis We have already seen it contains three parts. First part is pars distalis. This is the largest part and contain multiple cells or population of cells of endocrine cells. Another part is pars tuberalis. This is a support for capillary network of the hypophyseal portal system, that is the blood supplying parts. Third one is part intermedia. This is a junction between pars distalis and pars nervosa. This secretes ACTH hormone in dogs. The secretory cells of adenohypophysis, that is anterior lobe, is subdivided into two parts. This is based on histochemical stain characteristics. One part is chromophils, contain two types of cells, acidophils and basophils. The other part is chromophobes. We have seen the anterior lobe. Now posterior lobe is called as neurohypophysis. The neurohypophysis, also known as pars nervosa, it is a posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Again, it also has three anatomic subdivisions. We are not getting into the detail. We are interested in clinical importance only. The neurohypophysis secretes hormone, a very important hormone, antidiuretic hormone ADH, also called as vasopressin. This hormone regulates the level of water in the circulation. And another important hormone, oxytocin. Friends, here we see how the secretion of hormone is controlled or regulated. Endocrine cells of adenohypophysis are under the control of very important organ, hypothalamus, under the control of corresponding hypothalamic releasing hormones. So this adenohypophysis and its hormone secretions are under the control of hypothalamus and hypothalamic releasing hormone. Another control is negative feedback control. We have seen hypothalamus, upper control. Now below control, negative feedback control. This is by feedback by blood concentration of the hormone produced by the target endocrine gland. So here there is control of hormone secreted by target endocrine gland. These target endocrine glands are many. Important are thyroid gland, adrenal cortex, ovary or testes. They also secrete the hormone, and this hormone has a negative feedback control on the secretion of the pituitary hormone. Hormones such as prolactin, growth hormone, melanocyte stimulating hormone. This hormone has additional more complex feedback mechanism. The prolactin has an effect primarily on mammary gland. Growth hormone has an effect on liver, and melanocyte stimulating hormone have effect on a skin melanin pigment. Here we will see anterior lobe hormone. Anterior lobe of the pituitary produce 8 hormones, maximum number of hormones in the body. In the table we have three columns. First column hormone, second column target organ or tissues, and the third organ certain particular information. Important is adrenocorticotropic hormone, short ACTH. It is also called as corticotropin. The target organ is adrenal gland. This hormone stimulates the adrenal cortex to produce hormone by the adrenal cortex such as cortisol or glucocorticoid, mineralocorticoid and other hormone. The deficiency or excess of these hormone produce a peculiar type of the diseases. We study that. Cushing disease, addition disease and other diseases. The another hormone is follicle stimulating hormone FSH and luteinizing hormone, the gonadotropins. The target organ, ovaries or testes. These are the sex hormones. FSH and LH stimulate the testes to produce sperm, ovaries to produce eggs. So these are related to infertility and sterility and fertility also. Sex organs to produce sex hormones such as testosterone and estrogen. The deficiency or excess causing problem of reproduction and pregnancy. The third hormone is a growth hormone. Target organs, muscles and bone. This hormone GH regulates growth and physical development, muscle formation and reducing fat tissue. So deficiency or excess produce abnormalities in muscles, bones and thereby on the growth of the animal. Fourth hormone is a prolactin. Target organ is the mammary gland. This is also called as a milk hormone because prolactin stimulates mammary gland to produce milk. This is very much important. Defect in this hormone reduces milk production. The fifth hormone is thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH. The target organ is thyroid gland. TSH stimulates the thyroid gland to produce thyroid hormone. So, excess or deficiency of TSH causes excess and deficiency in the thyroid hormone and subsequent effect on the body, and it produces a disease condition. The sixth hormone is beta melanocyte stimulating hormone. Target organ is the skin. It is an effect on the melanocyte and it decides the darkness of the skin. Melanocyte, presence of melanogranules on the skin. The seventh hormone is enkephalins, target organ brain. It inhibits pain sensations. The last eighth hormone is endorphins. Target organ is brain and immune system. Important hormones that help to control the immune system of the body. So these hormones are necessary for the protection against the infection to the body. Friends, we have seen the hormones produced by anterior lobe of the pituitary. Anterior lobe produce maximum number of the hormones, 8 hormones. Its clinical importance when there is excess hormone or deficiency, that also we have seen. In this presentation we will see the posterior lobe hormones. Posterior lobe produce 2 hormones. One hormone is vasopressin, also called as antidiuretic hormone, in short ADH. Target organ is kidney. This ADH regulates the amount of water excreted by the kidney and thereby important for maintaining water balance in the body. Along with water balance, there is electrolyte balance also. So this hormone is very important to maintain the water balance of the body and blood, to regulate the blood pressure. Second hormone, oxytocin. Target organ, uterus and mammary gland. The oxytocin is important. It stimulates the uterus to contract during parturition or whelping or delivery. So during parturition, it causes the contraction of the smooth muscle and normal parturition occurs. So if defective of this hormone may lead to a dysarthria. Oxytocin causes contraction of the uterus immediately after delivery to prevent excessive bleeding or blood loss from the uterus. Important for protection of the body and maintenance of the blood pressure. Oxytocin stimulates the contraction of the milk ducts of the mammary gland. So this hormone is very much important for the let down of the milk in lactating animals. So excess or deficiency of this oxytocin may lead to problem of uterus or milk letdown or milk production. In the previous presentation, we have seen excess or deficiency or irregularity of the pituitary hormone produce effect on many organs of the body. Here we see some of the characteristic clinic importance which has a specific effect on the disease, important disease of the animal. You know that adrenal gland also affected by the pituitary, secondary cause. So it causes secondary hypoadrenocorticism, decreased level of the cortisol, and another disease, that is a pituitary dependent hyperadrenocorticism, and cause the important disease, that is a Cushing disease in dogs. I have already presented a video on this Cushing disease. The main reason of this Cushing disease, 80 to 95% cases are due to pituitary cause, and only 15 to 20% causes due to the primary adrenal. So Cushing disease is an important disease in the dog. The thyroid gland is also under the influence of the pituitary hormone. As a secondary cause, it either causes decreased thyroid level or increased thyroid stimulating hormone. So it produces both hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. These are the important diseases, hypo and hyperthyroidism, important diseases in dogs and cats, where the secondary cause is pituitary. Another important disease in animal is diabetes insipidus. It is caused by deficiency of antidiuretic hormone ADH. We know that ADH hormone regulates the water control, excretion or reabsorption from the kidney. A failure of kidney to respond ADH also causes diabetes insipidus. The consequences are there is production of large volume of the diluted urine. There is great water loss from the body. As a consequence, the animal which is affected drink large amount of water to compensate losses. Diabetes insipidus is not very important disease, but it is occurring in animals, domestic animals, dogs and large animals also. Friends, we have seen the clinical importance of the master gland, pituitary gland, and the diseases caused by deficiency or excess of pituitary hormone. Please send this information to veterinarians and veterinary friends. To promote the channel, requested to subscribe the channel. Requested to press like button if you like the presentation. Thank you very much for observing this video. Next time we are coming with more videos on endocrine diseases.